validate. So the loving your person is never having to tell them that you love them. It's stupid. That's why it gets harder and harder after you fall more and more in love, in which you think is not love. Because you become more and more bonded with a person. If I know a person I'm bonded, what the fuck I gotta validate to you that I love you? Then you see how stupid it sounds. It gets harder. You've been around a motherfucker waking up every damn day. Like your sister, like your mama. You gonna say that? You see what I'm saying? Because you are dealing with something superficial. It's created by the white man. The Africans didn't deal with that. You understand where I'm coming from here? That's why there's 1,000 love songs. Not only that, it's a damn economical business for him. Everything is based on capitalism. So by it being an economical business for him, you understand what I'm saying? He can get paid off of you with your nose wide open. You see what I'm saying? We saw Valentine's Day. What the fuck a black person even worshiping that for? Why isn't any sane white person past damn 19 even deal with that shit? But everybody's on this. Valentine's Day, all the restaurants was booked up. You couldn't get a restaurant in Atlanta. Now what kind of psychological bullshit is this? That's just like Christmas. You're going to take one damn day to take a nigga out to eat. You understand where I'm coming from here? We got to break the psyche of what this stuff, because what this stuff here is, and really right now, the reason why I'm saying this right now, because I deal with the great mother principle and all. You might have seen my tapes. We deal with the whole feminine thing. But what we found out now recently is a lot of brothers are having, conscious people, we're not talking about dead niggas. They're having a problem with the nigga because both of them idiots. Black man an idiot and the black woman is an idiot. Fuck her damn shit. Both of us come out of damn slavery. How the fuck all of a sudden you become fine and we didn't? And both damn people is fucking fools. A slave is a psychological disaster. A pathological grown-up child at large is what black people are. Permanent children. Somebody take your brain and rip it out in slavery. And all of a sudden the black woman fine and the black man ain't. What kind of shit is that? both of them are psychological fools. You understand what I'm saying? Nathan and Julia Hare told you that motherfucking something was wrong with black people. Naeem Akbar told you that. Amos Wilson told you that. We are disasters. So all of a sudden one get over the other. Now the key is, the deal is, the sisters, I'm seeing this happening now, they got to break this barrier of this love thing. You're looking for something psychologically, you're unhappy based on something this nigga can't give you because it's superficial. He can still hang with his, that motherfucker could be a drunk and still have a goddamn hard head he hang with no money out on the damn street. Understand where I'm coming from? Nigga be drunk, got a drinking partner. You understand where I'm coming from here? And he ain't no faggot. Seems to me, I'd rather have a drinking partner that can do something in the damn bed with me. You understand what I'm saying? Than a goddamn nigga out there somewhere drinking and shitting, and you know, I can't do shit with him because I ain't gay. You understand where I'm coming from? Your woman, you supposed to be a partner. This don't mean that you supposed to accept everything the male does either. This means it's supposed to be 50-50, 100. Actually, it's supposed to be 100. You supposed to all think alike. You get where I'm coming from here? You get where I'm coming from here? And I'm not saying this to be no sexist. I'm just saying I'm seeing there's a different energy. There's a different type of woman. See, you don't realize. We just think that the goddess is a woman with a baby in her arm. So we hear about the nurturing. There's different aspects of the goddess. The goddess is a nurturer. When the society is balanced, she's a nurturer. Because she got a people of society. Hell, they got a society. We don't have a society anymore. Then they got a picture of a goddess as a damn warrior cutting off motherfuckers' heads. That's what you're supposed to be. But you looking for love as if we ain't in war. There's two kind of things. There's wartime and peacetime. And in wartime, you don't supposed to act like it's peacetime. So if you in wartime, what the hell you looking for some shit to be all right? It's time to kill some motherfuckers. On whatever level you're going to deal with. But it's the energy that you got to deal with. But they got us trapped. The warrior is a fearsome being. And they got a goddess that's a warrior. Now it's time for your warrior mode. But the whole thing is break out of this mythology of the love. He got his white man, white woman trapped on that bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Trapped on that. Let's deal with some things. let's deal with some things right now. Okay, let's see where we're going to start here. With the lecture. Okay. All right. What happened is the white boy in the 60s and the 70s, he gave a whole lot of disease and a whole lot of things to black people. But at that particular time, he would give black people all this stuff in the hospital. But black people would cure themselves, and he couldn't understand what happened. After all the stuff he put them through, black people would go home on the weekend and come back rejuvenated. And he couldn't understand what was going on. He figured out that black people was healing themselves through the music. But what he figured out, that it wasn't just the music that was healing themselves off of. Your melanin, the melanin, which is a multi-rhythmic energy. He realized that they was healing themselves off of albums or records. Before you had CDs, you had albums. An album is a black piece of vinyl. If you go to any plastic place or any type of tire place, when they make rubber tires, the rubber plant is white. They have to cook the tire down to get it to darkness. When you cook something down, you bring out its most carbonated form. You understand what I'm saying? The vinyl, they used to cook the plastic down till it turns real dark, like it's black. You see what I'm saying? Then, an album is a recording that has grooves on it. You can feel it, if you remember, and you can feel the music on it with your hand. It was a black granite strip of carbon, which is the same as the melanin in you, which is carbon. Then an album was played by, if it was an expensive thing, it was played by a diamond needle, and a diamond is what? Crystallized carbon. Or a sapphire, which is a form of mineral, or some type of metal, or some type of rock or whatever, or stone, which is still carbon. So the music in the albums and stuff, when you used to put it on, it used to doggone heal you, because it was the same energy as the melanin going straight into you, and it would heal you. Because you created the music because it was coming from out of here. So what they had to do when the 90s came in 1990, when they officially stopped albums. They had a few after that. You use DJs, you can get them, but they only released a few after 1990. But I'm saying, as far as the major production albums like CDs, they cut them out in 1990. And the reason why is because a CD is a hologram. It's a recording taken from somewhere and put into a hologram, and it's played by a laser. It's not the same as an actual recording, which is a pressing. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have the same effect. If anybody listens to a CD and you thought that the CD sound better than the album. It doesn't. It's just that a CD has an EQ'd sound. It's louder. So you thought, oh man, it's clear and it's loud. What you didn't realize is an album, because it has grooves, the needle fits in the grooves, you get a full body and it's got an undertone, and it's literally like being there. Only thing it was with the album wasn't EQ, but they had equalizers. If you would get yourself a damn equalizer and EQ the sound, you'll find out that the sound better than the damn CD. Blinded by science. If you listen to, and I'm guarantee you right now, with a CD, you got to keep buying it over and over and over. If you listen to them stuff, the sound might sound good on the radio, but when you get it home, I guarantee you, you got to keep buying them over and over and over again, because you can never get that sound that what the album had. I'm telling you, straight up. That's because it's a holographic sound. It doesn't give you the same sound. But that's blinded by science. My point is this, and not telling you to go out and buy CDs. My point is they realized that the carbonated stuff in the carbon disc was healing you, and that's why they took the albums off the market based on the doggone melanin. Now what they have done now, because this is a recording, and so now basically what they have done also, they literally control the music, period. So what you got now is just straight up, just tears up melanin. You see what I'm saying? The Sufi says that what goes in your ear is more divine than what goes before your eyes, because these eyes are cheap. It's in the place of the pineal gland, your spiritual eye, which is closed up. Your ears has a direct relationship to the pineal gland. So they had to doggone put something in the doggone music. Now this is the key. Although the rap industry is big, what we didn't realize was the rap music literally killed R&B music, which means that the production and the energy that went into making R&B music, real funk, soul, and different good music, now they can make cheaper with rap artists, so they bring out thousands of rap artists a year, and it's hardly no real deal people that can make real music. So then what happened was the rap musicians started having to make music for the singers, for the simple fact that the people was used to the rap sound. So what you got now is all sampling from the 70s. Now, although the 70s was our vanguard era, your energy flows this way. So the 90s, you're supposed to be on a higher level than you were the 70s. But the record companies say we can't let them get to that high level, so we have to tell the pineal gland that they are in the 70s. So what they do is they hire all these young ass people to come in and sample all the shit from the 70s. It's going to sell because the niggas from the people, the teenagers, they was babies in the 70s, so they don't remember the shit. But now you hear a song and you be like, somebody say, hell, that's Puff Daddy. You say, no, that's fucking Cool in the Gang. Somebody say, oh no, you know, that's MC Light. You go, no, that's fucking Diana Ross, Upside Down. You remember them, you got the real songs at home. But what they have done is they can stop the generation of energy, because your pineal glands was all the black people's kundalini and pineal gland was supposed to raise to a certain level, and your third eyes was supposed to be open by now. But they have reversed the trend by doggone sampling all the stuff from the 70s, and you're not creating pure new music. See, to create new music is coming from the inside out. So as a result, you would have created some cosmic shit now would have opened people up. So as a result, they have even forced even regular artists that were still in the R&B thing, they got to go back and sample some shit and all that old cut up shit. And not only that, they got some fucked up stuff in it, because the only thing you got to do is not listen to it for 2 weeks, and guarantee you can't listen to the shit no more. The only reason why you can listen to it is because the radio plays all the time, and basically they program your mind that you like it. If you pass 30, you shouldn't, if you like that shit, that's because you program. You shouldn't be able to, can't stand none of that shit. But what they do, they program the whole society. The music is constantly going. So you hear it and your mind automatically accepts it. It's just like anything else. If I get you used to something, you ever had something you didn't like at first, but then you got used to it and you just loved it, but you couldn't stand it at first? Especially when you're a child. I don't like no broccoli. Now you love some damn broccoli and cheese. You see, that's because you was hungry one damn day and you ain't had shit else to eat for a couple of weeks, and you was forced to eat it. Or either your mama stuffed it down your damn mouth, so I'm gonna beat your ass if you don't eat it. So what happened was you was forced to eat it, and all of a sudden your taste buds developed. Well, it's the same thing with the music. It's bad music. It's some of the worst music ever invented. But it sounds good. It sounds good because they done programmed you to like the shit. You see what I'm saying? Remember in the 70s, if you couldn't play music, or if you didn't have talent, you did not record. Bottom line. If you couldn't play an instrument, if you didn't have talent, you did not record. So they couldn't take no nigga out of the damn projects and go get some damn records and cut up some shit and he come a millionaire. It didn't go that way. Now, look at the white people shit. They done gone back to folk shit, which is your blues. Sheryl Lee Crow is making money off blues. What's the damn cracker with the red hair that sing the blues shit? Bonnie Raitt. They using your shit, but they done got you programmed on another thing, and now they using your stuff. Not only that, if the song don't have some real meaning to it. Like I say, Sheryl Lee Crow said, I used to go out with a vending machine repairman. Well, to you, that shit don't sound like nothing but some country shit. But what the shit is doing to the white people, it paints a story of where they want motherfuckers to think. And when you listen to that, and between the end of the story, it gives a picture of a certain mythology, and that's how they train their people. You got some old bullshit, some sex, and I don't see nothing wrong with some bump and grind. Because you got a motherfucking idiot, if that nigga did what on a damn record, that nigga be working at McDonald's. That's right. Let me tell you something. A motherfucker that supposed to be working at McDonald's, you shouldn't be listening to that motherfucker in music. You say, well, that's a little uppity. No. Because our people, we done bought the bullshit with this thug shit. Our people, even if you was a poor motherfucker, you always look to the person in your society who was going some goddamn well. That's why, okay, you say that's some bullshit. Why is it that they got them niggas out of the projects in the Motown and put them on suits? They had to go in and you gotta listen to the Motown thing. They had to hire people to go in and get these niggas class dance thing. They had to show them that you don't wear no white shoes, no black suit. They had to tell them how to fix their damn hair. Because our people was they did the same thing Elijah Muhammad did. They had to clean savages up. These people was ripped apart doing slavery. So they had to, did anybody see the Motown thing where they had to go in and it wasn't just a shit where they just stuff. They had to have trainers. They had to show etiquette. They had to show niggas how to eat. They had to show people how to move. So when they went amongst white people, not that they was trying to show the white people, they was showing a science how they got the money from the cracker. The cracker would see these polished Negroes and this shit, the cracker would go crazy. You see, they had to show them all kind of shit, how to dress. You know what I'm saying? You don't wear that kind of shirt, but that kind of shit. You see? Now, if you ain't fucked up, you're not accepted. So my brother, he opened up a doggone insurance office. They got customers coming up in there spending money. He got to tell a sister, you don't wear that disco shit up in here. 10 years ago, he didn't have to tell her. But he's saying, you know, she got 5 or 6 kids. She in the projects. So naturally, him being conscious, she need the money the most. That's the one he gonna hire. She know how to read and write and spell. You know what I'm saying? They're not really dumb. But he had to tell her, look, you can't be wearing that shit up in here. She with the titties all out, a hoochie mama shit, ass all out, stomach all out. You see? Now, what I'm trying to say here is, they done got this whole thing with the rap and the thug life and all that stuff. That is white man manufactured. It was white man. It went from 2 Live Crew to Biggie and Tupac. Them niggas ain't about shit. There ain't no liberation come out of that shit. Don't let nobody fool you. Reason why I know, because I deal with advanced metaphysical African spirituality. So my stuff is spiritual. You see what I'm saying? So I know that that's some bull jive. Tupac was a damn idiot. I done studied it. I done tried to get the good out of it, and it's still spiritually, this nigga's an idiot. As well as Biggie. But now what it is they done trained you. See, 10 years ago, that couldn't have been your revolutionary. As a matter of fact, you didn't set them kind of revolutionaries up to present you. He was the foot soldier in the Nation of Islam. He never got to the forefront to represent the nation. You see what I'm saying? You always put your best up front to represent you. That's African science. So now they done manufactured that type thing. That ain't our shit. And this is, I'm saying, so what it is this here. What goes in the ear. Now the reason why I'm saying this is this. I went down to Baltimore, do a lecture. There's some brothers up in there. They're trying to revise a 1990s, late 90s version of the Public Enemy X-Clan thing that the government came in and cut up and stopped. You see. So they're trying to revise that. They up in the studio, they got a door and a man standing with a machine gun. I said, what that nigga doing down there? He say, oh, that's where they going to put all the crazy stuff on them albums after you leave. You see, even though you might be conscious, you got to go to the white man to get your shit distributed. The Wu-Tang Clan supposed to stay selling their stuff out the back of their trunk. Once you go to the major people, although you might be conscious, they go and they put some stuff up under there. And it mess up the melanin. Have you going crazy, shooting each other, killing each other. So Wu-Tang that sell 1 million something out the trunk of their truck, they supposed to stay there. Don't get on the major, because the major gonna damn, when they send it out, although, see, that's the thing about the CD, they can manipulate it. They can have 2 songs playing on top of the other. You hear the music, but don't hear the subconscious stuff. They used to do it to album, but you could take an album and turn it backwards and hear the shit. Called backmasking. You see. Very key that you understand the way they're doing this type of y'all all right with this? Yes. You see what I'm saying? We got to be honest with it. That's science and stuff. So what it is they look, even your boy James M. Toomey said that they got the new thing where they used to do in the 70s where they would take the leader from the group and he goes solo and the group folds. But yet the Rolling Stones would have solo projects, but they'd never leave the group. The white big groups, the white huge big groups, they would have solo projects, but they would never leave the group. You see? Motown used to do that at first. Michael Jackson would call one for the Jackson 5. Him and Jermaine came out with their 2 or 3 albums during the same time. But the government came in and busted all that up and took the main singers out. Number one, they can unemploy a group of people. You see what I'm saying? And they can bust up the energy. You see what I'm saying? James, let me talk about that. So the whole thing here is programming. You see what I'm saying? It's programming. I just wanted to put that through you. Now, we've got to go through some things that I've been telling the rest of the country, so you got to deal with that. You got to go and get the 3 trilogies of the Star Wars.
Yeah. Let me say that again.
The 3 Star Wars trilogy. Star Wars trilogy is the Osirian drama that's all hooked up. The Christ is Luke Skywalker. But Darth Vader, who is his father, is actually God of the perfect black, Osiris. Darth in the Kabbalah. And I done lost my Kabbalah. I gotta put it back in. In the Kabbalah. This up here, they don't have it on here, but I got another one in here. See if I can find it. Because I got to get the other one, because I got to talk about some stuff tonight. Some other stuff that you got to do. You got to go. There's something that you can do. So I done hit upon some of the gates. How you can get out of this mess.
Right.
And so there's some things you got to do. So we're going to get with that tonight, too. I done figured this shit out. As soon as I figured it out, you see, the dollar prophet I told you about, he's that jealous God that don't want people to rise. His name is Zeus in Greece. So Jesus is a dollar prophet, the jealous God. And the Bible says, I am a jealous God. So, this section, right here, this star, right in the middle is the thing supposed to be Darth. D-A-A-T-H, that's Darth Vader. That's the black dot. He gives birth to Luke Skywalker. Their teacher is Yoda. Yoda trained Jedi warriors for 700 years. This is where it comes from. This is Luke Skywalker and Yoda. This is the original Christ Horus, which is called Harpocrates, or Heruparcrates, which means the baby Horus. Later on, the baby Jesus. Baby Jesus. The baby Horus Locke. Up top is Bess, which is actually his higher self on the inside teaching him. So Luke Skywalker went to Yoda, our Yogi Master, Yoda Master, the Jedi Master, to teach him. As you can see Horus, or Heru, has this thing on its back, basically, or behind his head. If you notice in the movie, he was taking Yoda around on his back.
That's right.
This is the God Bess. You call him Satan now. Satan, get behind me. That's your teacher. This represents melanin. That's what Yoda represented. It was his higher self. The Kundalini which is inside of you, the Kundalini, which is inside of you, is the staff of Tahuti. You call it the medical association. The medical association, which is the staff of Tahuti. You got that? You know that's the what's called. The staff of Tahuti is the same as the staff of Moses. Remember, Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness? That's the damn serpent. Moses, before he was a historical figure, he was called the god Tahuti. Moses and Tahuti is one and the damn same. The god of wisdom and knowledge. You see, the staff of Tahuti is this, which is the same staff of Moses. See, Richard, the guy, Joseph Campbell said that the Hebrew religion ought not have been invented. What did he mean by that? He didn't say the Hebrew mythology. The Hebrew mythology was an ancient mystical mythology system of tales that came from Ethiopia. Later on it was historicalized, so Abraham, Isaac, Moses, Jacob, and all of them became historical figures. They never existed in history. Solomon never existed in history. You think of Solomon as a historical person. That's how they keep you on a low level. Solomon is Amen-Ra. Sol, which means sun, or soul. You get solar. Soul or Sol, which means sun. Amen, which means hidden. Solomon, which means the hidden sun. Or sun means what? Ra. Amen-Ra. Ra, Amen, Ra, sun. You see? Amen-Ra, Solomon. Sol means sun. Amen means hidden. Amen-Ra, Solomon. Same damn shit. It's also a form of Osiris. Now the staff of Osiris, or the staff of Tahuti, is called the backbone of Osiris. Osiris, or Osea, or Asur, or Usur, the backbone is your Kundalini energy that shoots up. The backbone of Osiris in Egypt is called the Djed pillar. In Star Wars it's called the Jedi warrior. The Jedi warrior. You see? The Djed pillar. But the Jedi is talking about the jet black eye of Heru. And you know the eye of Heru is what? Melanin. Read about that in African Origins of Biological Psychiatry, Richard King. A must have. Richard King, African Origins of Biological Psychiatry. The medical person on melanin as well as occult. But I am the premier occult person, which means he did the medical thing and he did the Egyptian thing, but what we're dealing with here is called occult melanin. It goes all the way back to deeper shit, which they're teaching the Masonic, which Hitler and them learned. Hitler was in something called the Order of the Black Sun. And the black sun is talking about what? Melanin. The black sun is inside of you. Say the sun, as the sun rises and sets in the east, so shall the son of man. It's not talking about the son of man, it's not the S-U-N of man, not the S-O-N of man, it's the son of man, which means the son in man, which means your son is going to rise up. You see? So, the Jedi. So you got to go and get the you have to go and get the movie and understand it, because the movie was taken. He called in Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell he's dead now. He wrote a lot of stuff back in the 50s and the 60s on the mythology. One of the America's premier scholars on mythology. He explained that mythology was African science. Just that you look at it at a modernized, so them a bunch of tales. They ain't tales. If you understand it, understand geometry, astronomy, energy, technology, all the shit is up in this, in the mythology. As well as advanced secrets of spirituality, because it's multidimensional. Y'all getting this? So he called in Joseph Campbell, because he had read Joseph Campbell's book, A Hero of a Thousand Faces. The Hero of a Thousand Faces. Joseph Campbell's book. You can get that book now. As a matter of fact, I want you to frequent this establishment, but I also wanted to let you in on the scoop. Barnes & Noble now has a bargain book section that they reprint a whole lot of old stuff that you couldn't get. Now they're reprinting it and selling it in their store. So I'm telling you, you can go out there and access a lot of stuff now in their bargain section. They got a mystical section, got a whole lot of shit up in there. And I'm saying that because a lot of this stuff they got is not printed anymore. But he took it from the hero of 1,000 faces. Now, faces. Anyway, you must understand that what we're talking about here doesn't sound like religion, because there's two types of religion. There's that what the priests learn, and that's what then there's that what the everyday customer learn. So the everyday citizen got the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, and all those books, and they just tell you to bow down and behave yourself to God, because at that particular time they had to write those books because they understood that the lesser people was coming on the earth who couldn't understand divine mysteries. The God that they was talking about in the book was not a God in the air. It was a race of gods that used to live on earth, which is us now. You get it? Black people. You started worshiping a damn book that wasn't talking about nothing but your ass. The key is the priest learned something totally different. In each religion you have a esoteric or an exoteric. The exoteric is the Bible, the Quran, religion, worship, God in heaven, you just a damn wretch, you done sinned, so he gonna punish your ass. Bullshit. Has nothing to do with religion, spirituality whatsoever. It's insanity, and actually it's political. It's a political laws, just like you have laws now to tell you you can't run the red light. Well, when they had a sick people and the people stopped, our ancient civilization started decaying, they had to make laws up for people to govern so they don't kill themselves. And that's what religion came. That has nothing to do with spirituality. The priests learned something totally different. There's esoteric. The exoteric is the laws. Exoteric, and the Lord just means the law. The word Lord just means the law. But only a God can give the damn law, so we're still the Lord. Esoteric is what the priests learn. The esoteric to Christianity is Gnosticism. The esoteric to Islam is Sufism. The esoteric to Judaism is Kabbalistic. The esoteric to Buddhism is the yogi. Then you have ancient civilization, which was esoteric altogether. Egypt, Babylonia, even Greece, because the original Greek was started by the Etruscans. So you're going to have some Greek on that list. You can put the gods in them because those Etruscans and your original Romans were black people. So those were ancient civilizations. Samaria, Mesopotamia, those places. That's different. You see what I'm saying? That's different. Now, the difference between this particular information, you got your Sufi Muslims. Your Sufis are the mystics of Islam. It has nothing to do with being obedient and what's called it. Although they can go in the Quran and show you the mystical side of that. Now, if you want to get some esoteric mystic, a lot of the Sufism, they cloak their stuff in poetic stuff. So when you get it, it's hard to learn the mystical stuff. The real deal mystical person is a white boy named Henry Corbin. Leave it to the white man. He gonna get the truth out of that shit. He went over there and got the secrets from their ass and published the shit. Not only that, he had some ancient scripts from Persia and translated it. So, Henry Corbin, if you want to learn real Sufism, you got to get Henry Corbin. Wrote a book called Spiritual Body, Celestial Earth. Henry Corbin, studying Sufi alchemy, had tapped into Sufi form of melanin. As far as the teachers, everyone got a melanin teaching. So Henry Corbin tapped into the melanin teaching and wrote these volumes of stuff on melanin. He had a doggone guy that studied his stuff by the name of Frank Herbert, studied for 7 years, learned Islam and studied his particular information, and wrote a book on the melanin and the Messiah called Doom. Came out in 1963, but he worked for the government too. The government said, no, we're going to release this book about the black man and the rise of the Mahdi. In the book they say the Mahdi. We're We're going to release it in 1965, the 100th year after the Emancipation Proclamation. So almost 20 years later, 1984, 19 years, give or take, they came out with the movie. But George Lucas, who wrote Star Wars, was inspired to do his messianic movie, the Star Wars, from Frank Herbert's Dune, the book. He just made his own mythology up. So they wrote the thing. So you got to go rent the movie Dune. Then you got to go buy the paperback, and you got to study the bibliography. The paperback to Dune is more accurate than the Quran and the King James Version combined. You sleep on it. You ain't gonna get shit from the Quran but a whole bunch of teachings, because you don't know the magical keys to unlock the shit. You ain't gonna get shit from the Bible. But if you get Frank Herbert's Dune, you more on top of it, because it ain't no damn bullshit science fiction. He wrote it from doggone Sufi information studying Henry Corbin. Now in the movie Dune, it's all based on what? Spice, melange. And he who controls the spice controls the universe. Melange is a mixer that enhances memory. Space travel is vital with it. It produces a being called the Kwisatz Haderach. So if you go get Frank Herbert's Dune and get doggone Henry Corbin's book, you will find Henry Corbin, which is supposed to be real Sufism, you will see the word Kwisatz Haderach in it. But the whole thing was based on melange. Look up the word melange in the Bible, in the American Standard Dictionary. It means a mixture. But he used it as being some form of clay. It was orange in the movie. Well, they say that Adam was fashioned off the mud and the clay. The clay is symbolic to melanin. It's talking about the original clay that Adam was fashioned. You ever hear when we were made of mud in Adam? They say before that, or before he fashioned him, he couldn't walk or whatever. He was made of. They made him out of the different. I'll read it in a few minutes. The best parts of the earth. It was an alchemical text talking about Adam was made out of all the elements of God, which is melanin. The original pre-matter. That's what it's talking about.
Real quick, what did the worm symbolize in the movie Dune?
Huh?
What did the worm symbolize?
The worm. See that worm right there? See that snake? Where does it go? The black dot. The worm is the producer. What the worm do? The worm produced the damn melanin. Remember they was mining the melanin? They had to get the fuck out of there before the worm come? Right. The worm represents the Kundalini snake. That's the Kundalini energy that shoots up your spine to the third eye. But they had a Messiah up in there named Paul Atreides, the Mahdi, Muad'Dib, that later on became what? The Kwisatz Haderach. Kwisatz Haderach is a Sufi term, and it means could be in 1 and 2 and 3 places at the same time. Now, if you study the history of Master Farad Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad was supposed to go to some white boys out in California to teach them. He doubled back on them and went to Detroit. He just used them crackers to get over here, as they say. He wasn't planning on teaching. He went to Detroit. They was mad because remember in the 1930s, all kind of Sufi masters and all these crackers and all these people from India was coming to teach white people. They wanted to get a spiritual guru. So that's how he got over here. He was supposed to go out to California. A group out there. He positioned himself to be in the place where Elijah Muhammad was, because he had seen in a vision and known that there was an Elijah that was born in Georgia. There's an Elijah, Georgia, too, which was the place where Elijah was supposed to come. The town was named after a place where Elijah was supposed to come, although he came from Sandersville. So Master Farad Muhammad positioned himself in the position to find Elijah Muhammad. And Noble Drew Ali, his whole thing was spiritual too. There was a bunch of spiritual masters at that time. It wasn't just masters. Noble Drew Ali, his thing was spiritual. That Father Divine. Yes. He was supposed to do the spiritual thing on another level as far as the Christianity. That's why he came to the Christianity. He was supposed to do exactly what he did. You see what I'm saying? All of that. Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois supposed to do what he's supposed to do, as well as Booker T. Washington.
Right there, 1920s, 1930s, in the account, Sufi.
Yeah, see?
Same time.
Same time. A lot of them came. Yogananda came to these white people. See, the white people didn't get some spiritual people coming in after 1914. They said, we're going to kill every motherfucking nigga in the world. So the hierarchy at that time said, well, we got to give these motherfuckers somebody before they don't kill up the earth. Because these crackers is scared. The Masons had been studying it, and they knew their time was up in 1914. Well, you think, okay, that's some bullshit. My Uncle Elijah Muhammad said, bullshit. Go get the book, Great Pyramid Decoded. Peter Lemmershire. Came out in 1977. And in the book, he said, 1914, all spiritual breakdowns for Western civilization. It's in the book. They knew that their time was up. That's documented by the cracker. You thought that Elijah Muhammad was bullshit. Go get a book called Mass of the Illuminati by Robert Anton Wilson. And read the damn, it's a novel. Read it very closely. The book starts off from 1914. April 23rd, which was the other day when James Earl Ray died. That's a spiritual day. That's the Dogon when they do the Siggy ceremony. They did it on April 23rd. April 23rd, 1914, a bunch of crackers killed themselves in Loch Ness. You saw that Loch Ness monster. That's some real shit. Don't think the book a damn novel. It's some real shit going on. You got to go get it. He had to write it in a novel, and he wrote, Robert Anton Wilson wrote his Illuminati stuff in novel form, which is more close to the real stuff than the Bill Cooper stuff, because they would kill you back then. But they allowed him to write it in novel form so he could teach some of the crackers. So go get Mass of the Illuminati. It starts off in 1914. What's that? Yeah, Robert Anton Wilson.
Like a lot of the classical African scholars, Aztec and so forth, don't focus on Elijah Muhammad.
We'll get into that in a few minutes. Right after they finish off this doom thing. Anyway, after he taught Elijah Muhammad, they didn't find out where it was for 3 years. After he taught them and they realized that this man rose up speaking some particular knowledge, and he met with he also met with Jehovah's Witness, Elijah Muhammad did. Jehovah's Witness had a spiritual prophecy, but they misconstrued it, and that's what broke their order. Anyway, they got mad. So they had a worldwide manhunt for him. But they found him in 5 days. He kept popping up in 3 and 4, 5 places at the same time. He was reported in being in one day 2 and 3, 4, 5 places, because he'd gone to the level of Quizak's Haderach. It ain't like he ain't no more God than you. It's just anybody can get to that level. Right. So he had got to the level of Quizak's Haderach, being in many places at one time. You go see the movie Doom, you'll understand the science behind the shit. So they say he was reported in many places at one time. So the crackers got all disturbed. When Elijah Muhammad went to jail, they took some pictures of this mothership thing out of his briefcase. We heard that about the nation and all. Okay, show you how you document shit to be true. Robert Anton Wilson did another introduction to Neil Wilgus's book called Illuminoids. And in there, it states that in 1951, when did Malcolm get out of jail? 51?
Yeah, 51.
In 1950, a year before he got out of jail, the MIB, which is called the Men in Black, they made the movie about? Right. Those were people in the 60s. They came up after the 50s. They was actually, the government installed them after some niggas in Detroit and hiding the hell black people in a small subversive group called the Nation of Islam speaking on spaceships. So from that, because they had locked him up and took some shit out of his briefcase, they established what is called the Men in Black. That's the history of it. Came out of the 1950s. The UFO era started in 1947 based on the UFO crash. That was number one, that's fake. That's a German spacecraft. Our shit don't crash, first of all, because it ain't even physical. You see. That's a German spacecraft, because Hitler had the technology for these round ships. They was built, but they can't. But they're on the physical realm, so they can only build them out of the physical. So the ones you see with all that is a history of physical UFOs by the German government. Later on, America got that technology, and that led to damn Area 51 or whatever. You get the book Man-Made UFOs, 1947, 1994. That's what you see in all that abduction shit. That's the government. That ain't got shit to do with us. But it started on the heels of Elijah Muhammad. Started the UFO era. But it started, they got the stuff from him in the 1930s out of his briefcase. The UFO area didn't start till 1937, but it's 1947. But it started off of the heels of Elijah Muhammad and the whole Malcolm incident. Because in Neil Wilgers's book, it said, so what happened is if you saw some activity, they didn't know whether, if you just saw some of their shit, they didn't want people to know about it because they're going to try to fool people in the future about this UFO thing. So they're going to bring on this Messiah, Maitreya. That's the cracker shit. Lord Maitreya. That's the cracker shit. I can break that up in a few minutes. On who that nigga is. He just a cracker shit. He ain't black, he ain't white. He's somewhere in between. He just right for everybody. Okay. What they did was, in 1950s, they came out, and if you saw any kind of activity, whether it was theirs or you saw some strange light, these people would knock on your door. Black suits, black car. What did you see? I saw a UFO. I think I saw something in the sky. Hold on 1 minute. We're going to kill your mama. We're going to kill your daddy. Every time one of your family have a child, we're going to kill all of them. We're going to kill your people until there ain't no more of you. Now we're going to ask you again, what did you see? Well, I didn't see nothing. Okay, that's what I thought you said. In Neil Wilgers's book, Illuminoids, which is one of the, you can get the book from Sun Publishing, Illuminoids, which is one of the only authentic books on the Illuminati. A lot of this new shit now is put out by the government. Even Bill Cooper, government man. That's different. The original stuff was obscure. Neil Wilgers's book came out in 1978, 20 years ago, called Illuminoids. Now in his book got the real documents. It said that the MIB, based on prison documents, came to visit Malcolm X in prison in 1950. Now I want to ask you a question, because what is a government organization group that comes out to quell any type of, not just extraterrestrial activity, any type of paranormal activity? They would come out, even they had to get on top of it because you might have some shit that they're looking for. So they might come out just to visit you, just that you might have some stuff that the government won't. The government is into all kind of weaponry and secrets, not just physical, but spiritual. That's what your whole Masonic thing is. What is Malcolm X being visited by a government agency that is in the doggone business of documenting or trying to find out about or researching paranormal activity in 1950 if he's a nobody? The key was that they was already doggone intercepted letters from the Elijah Muhammad. They had known about him since the 1934, after they had a worldwide manhunt for Master Fraud Muhammad and was reported to see him in several places. They had already known about it. So when he was getting particular information, why would the MIB go and visit him in prison if the Elijah Muhammad didn't have some connection to some mothership thing? Well, at least which they thought about it. Now I'm going to show you some other documentation. You said document your shit.
Right.
Document your shit. Okay, let's document some goddamn shit then. You sitting around here thinking that it's all bullshit, them niggas don't know what the hell they talking about. Okay. I want you to go get some. This is called Gnosis Magazine. Comes out quarterly. All right. I want you to, you can get it at Barnes & Nobles or any place, but in the back here is an order form We'll Xerox some tomorrow. On here, I want you to go and I want you to get... Now, this is a white magazine. See, that's the fucked up thing about black people. We don't believe shit that we talk about, but white people study our shit. See what I'm saying? Why there's an intelligentsia group in Japan that studied the message to the black man. Why there's a white group in Georgia, a cracker named Bill Muhammad got a white following, all white. And their Bible is the message to the black man. A white group in Florida, in Georgia. They believe the white man is the devil. That's what they say. They say, but if he the devil, if we follow the teachings of the messenger, we'll get to heaven too, based on the little bit of people that the messenger say will be saved. So that's their theory of study now. A group in Georgia. 400-500 strong. About as much as the mosque down there. Now, in the book of white magazine, you want to doggone look up fall 1992. They got a whole section here on the history of the black Muslims. And in there they document the same Cossacks Haderach, which they had the doggone, they documented that the government had them in different places at one time. After messenger...
Just real quick, that article, was that shootout at the Circle 7 Corral or something? It was an article. I got it out of Gnosis, so I might have it in my...
Is it about... It's called the Inner City Black Kings or something.
Black Gods, the Inner City.
You got it.
Another one called Shootout at the
Yeah, okay, so if you can... Okay,
I got it in my file.
if you got the file, you don't need to buy the book. You can just Xerox the file. Okay, ain't no sense to send it off for the book when you can get the three... It ain't but 3 pages.
Right, one's called Black Gods, the Inner City.
Yeah.
There's another one called Shootout at the
Yeah.
Circle 7 Corral.
Right. Now, because they released it, the white people released it on the heels of the Malcolm X movie. They released it a month before the movie came out. They released it on their fall issue because they knew that the movie Malcolm was coming out and they wanted to teach their people about the shit. Because their people are into the metaphysical thing. You understand? Now, after Master Farah Muhammad left, this is some real deal shit. The white boys wrote a book called Stranger on the White House Lawn. Talking about Master Farah Muhammad. Got some Noble True Ali and a whole bunch of other stuff up in there. Anyway, from the book, they drafted the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still. The mysterious visitor, and they had a worldwide manhunt from him. Same damn shit. It's a connection. So when Malcolm came out and started talking all this stuff, they said, well, he must be the Messiah of that group. Because you always have a teacher, then you always have a younger person come who is the Messiah. So they thought he was the Messiah, and that's when they created this character called Martin Luther King, a government agent, to counter that. And that's why you got him, the #1 government agent under the British intelligence, and the United States can join forces. And the British intelligence taught them on how they taught Gandhi to doggone do his shit in India. He worked for the British intelligence. Martin Luther King was the same person. That's why they said the whole Boule thing and all that. They taught him, and he was to counter Malcolm. He was to counter Malcolm. So what happened was, when Malcolm died in 1965, he left no heirs because the white man don't realize that the messianic energy can come from male or female, but he don't think that way. When the daughters didn't do too much or nothing. Now look at this now. Look at the science. Everything goes in a cycle. I guarantee you right now, if you go back to 1988, you will see some things, shit that's happening now. Remember, Jesse went to visit James Earl Ray 10 years ago. 10 years later, the motherfucker died. 30 years ago, Martin Luther King gets killed. 30 years later, damn near to the same time of Martin Luther King death, James Earl Ray died. Nothing is by accident, man. This cracker runs everything, man. You can't get that shit, man, if you went up to heaven and tried to put it down. It's so precise. Let's do the numbers on this thing. Malcolm dies in 1965. Honorable Elijah Muhammad ascends in 1975. Okay? 10 years later, 1985, Malcolm's daughter has a boy. Born in 1985. They go, oh shit. See, they look at Messiah. They doing the damn jails of Hoover. We must mobilize and neutralize the rise of a black Messiah. They believe in that if you don't. You understand what I'm saying? They believe in that, you see. Do the same area of, do the math on it. Everything is a cycle. These crackers study this stuff. When was the Emancipation Proclamation? 1865. You understand what I'm saying? When did they start dropping boatloads of people in Vietnam? Around 64, 65 in the same area. Look, they got with President Johnson 2 years before he sent the main bulk of troops. They sat down, they said there's no way on God's earth we could win this shit. So what in the hell did the war end up killing more people than any war in world history? It was all to try to kill the black Messiah that they understood was supposed to rise up either in the 60s on into the 70s. That's why they do shit. See, they didn't do that. They say, look, our kids is getting away from us. This hippie shit, this black stuff done come in, because even though Martin Luther King and them was leading people to the integration, which was madness, but it even helped to a certain degree. Because of integration, now we got the same shit the crackers can get. We can get access to his shit. We were still segregated. We couldn't get access to certain shit now. That's the spook that's set by the dope. So it's pros and cons. But he said, man, this stuff is getting out of hand. The Messiah has got to be on the planet. It was already documented that this whole thing was supposed to break down. So he sent all them boys that are Vietnam so they can kill up millions of black. This shit was fought based on trying to kill the Messiah. So in 1985, Malcolm has a damn son. Scares the shit out the government. See what I'm saying? But 30 years or 40 years before that, they had already done the cloning thing and had it down perfected. And then they started cloning black people in 1975. So when he was born in 1985, they got that nigga, snatched him up, put a duplicate up in there, burn up the goddamn mother, burn her ass up. But you remember, in 1995, his daughter got in some trouble.
Yeah, with the
Farrakhan thing. It's all precise. They even got things of her saying there's some other niggas up in the room. She was delirious. She said there are other people up in the room. You see what I'm saying? So they made sure that they wasn't going to let her live because she might go and tell the damn truth. You see what I'm saying? But first of all, we got to get out of this thing about death being bad. First thing people doing. Now this woman all burn up, lips burn up. Ain't got no lips. Ain't got no fucking fingers. First thing black people start doing, we start praying for her to survive. You're not praying for her to survive because you are interested in her. You're praying for her to survive because you can't live with people dying. Because you're left behind to do the grieving. And you can't take that. So we pray for ourselves, and that's selfish. You should always want a motherfucker to leave the earth. The only reason why you want a person to stick around is because of you. When a person ain't got no lips and all that shit, the first thing I did, I said, God, y'all need to take the sister. Y'all need to take her. Straight up. You see what I'm saying? You see the Egyptians, it was all about what? Death. You got it all backwards. You see what I'm saying? I said, y'all need to take the sister. When they say she dead, I said, good. This is some motherfucker walking around with no fingers. They said she had no lips. But she said in her delirious state there were some other people in the room. Shit was all a government setup. It was all to damn kill the Messiah. They had already known the daughters wasn't going to do shit. You see what I'm saying? They had already got to them just like they did with the King boys. Them ain't nothing but a bunch of punks, man. Real messed up, man. They got to them. I don't even think it's them. There might be, as a matter of fact, I know they're robots, but that's another story. I'm going ahead of my time. But anyway, the whole doom thing is based on that particular information, and has a lot to do with all this stuff I was telling you. So you get that particular, you get that particular, the movie, but get the book, the paperback book, and look, and because it's got a glossary. But the people that is supposed to produce the doom is a group of people called the Fremen. And if you look at the book, it say free man. It's talking about a free group of some other slaves. These just the freed ones. But they are free based on their conscience. So that's talking, and the movie and the whole thing is based on a futuristic story of us getting out of this. They even have timelines, and the timelines coincide with right now today. You see what I'm saying? It coincides with right there today. Let's go on. All right. Let's see here what we got here. Let's see what we got here. All right. As you know, I hate to bust your bubble, but your boy is now working with Edgar Bronfman Corporation. Minister Louis Farrakhan works for Edgar Bronfman. Edgar Bronfman is the man that is over, and you can quote me on this shit. You see what I'm saying? You can quote me on this shit, and if any of y'all in the mosque, I want you to take the shit back to the mosque and tell them Bobby Hemmitt said that motherfucker is government.
State agent.
Government agent. Edgar Bronfman. Now I can you document your shit. I'll document the motherfucker for you in a few damn minutes. I'll document it. Edgar Bronfman. Edgar Bronfman. He's over the Seagram's Liquor Corporation. Is Farrakhan's new boss. He was introduced to him by Mike Wallace. They're supposed to build a hotel in Washington, D.C. That's all black, supposedly. Edgar Bronfman money. Now, first of all, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad cleaned black people up and got, the first thing he did is got the nigga off of alcohol.
That's right.
So it's spiritually immoral for you to hook up with a damn Jew that sells liquor to our people. Remember, our Seagram's ain't no damn expensive shit. No double malt scotch, just some cracker drinking. That's some ghetto shit. Seagram's gin and all that. See where I'm coming from? Now, to document what I'm talking about, if you think I'm bullshitting, see, all you got to do, I want you to go down to your local public library. I want you to look into